My name is Rene Sanchez, and I am going to be a business consultant. In order to be a business consultant, I'm going to need to major in business administration, or the direct translation from Spanish, direction and innovation of business. But since it doesn't sound good, I'm going to talk about business administration. So this is that. Well, first, I'm going to talk about the major itself. What are the major areas? And why is it important to study this in order to become what you're looking for? In my case, well, a business consultant. Then I'm going to mention an example of a successful company that has used what I think are the keys to this career, to this major itself. And then I'm going to conclude by summarizing everything I said. And after that, well, I will gladly answer any question you may have at that point. Oh, and thank you for being here, for being my audience. Thank you so much. So, business administration. It focuses on three major areas, and well, those three are, I was expecting to have a marker, but I don't, so I'm gonna keep. If you have one, I will gladly take it.
Oh my God, he's a place.
So, three major areas. I, C, and M. Okay? Innovation, creativity, and finally, the most boring one, if you ask me, honestly, management. And teacher, correct me if I'm wrong. This is how I spell management, right? Yeah? It's good? Okay. Well, let's move on. So, I'll start with creativity. Well, creativity is something we all have. Like, we are always thinking about great ideas. You know, we think we always have the solution to the most dangerous things, to the greatest problem in the world, but we never apply it. That's a major problem, if you ask me. Management, well, that's knowing what to do with your things. And specifically in this career, it is about finances, about numbers, about knowing who you are going to deal with and how to deal with enterprises, how to deal with companies, how to deal with the staff, how to organize yourself, how to direct. That's why I think that's the most important one. Then comes innovation. And for me, this major is all about innovation. Being a business consultant is all about innovation. Basically, I like to think my job is to always be creative, to always find a new, a fun, a different solution to the everyday problems of the world. And it's important that you know these three, all of these areas, because as I always say, they work like a chain. They work together. They bond beautifully, you know? Because you start with an idea, okay? And then, well, for me that's innovation. You start with your idea, with your solution. Then, via creativity, you land that idea. You create it. You start to do something about your idea. And with management, you implement your idea. You know? You start to develop it, to make it work. And a company that is great at this, well, that, okay. So, change is innovating in organization. That's the essence of a business administrator in case it wasn't clear enough with everything I just said. Okay? Okay. Fun fact, that's the first ever doodle Google created. It was on the year 2001, and that is from the Burning Man festival, because their president was there, and people, and Google, well, the Google employees wanted the users to know where they were and from what place were they posting the results on the internet. So, Google is an example of innovation, creativity, and management. First of all, those are the headquarters. Well, part of the headquarters. And these tubes, they all have different colors. One, because they look great. You know, this picture looks really cool. I like this light. And that is so the workers can distinguish what every single one of them does. And going back to the example I just mentioned of doodles, that was innovation. The year was 2001, and they wanted the letters of their site to say where they were. You know, Google has been innovating ever since. Innovation has been in their blood. Oh, and by the way, you might wonder, why am I only focusing on innovation right now? Well, as I just said, it's the most important one for me, and I think it's what a business administrator is going to be working with constantly. Okay, so going with innovation and everything that Google has, this is actually the one of the ways in which their employees travel through the headquarters, or the campus as they like to call it. Those are self-driving cars, and it is expected that by the year 2020, they will actually be here. Like, you will not have to drive at that point. Right now they are testing it, a lot of crashes, but that's not important. That's not important right now. Okay? These are the location, the headquarters, and as you might see, they are pretty colorful. Google colors inspired. There is actually like a method behind all of those colors, but I'm not gonna get into it right now because it's quite fun, but I don't have time. So these installations have the single purpose of making their employees be constantly thinking about new things, thinking about, well, solutions to the world and how to help their users in every way that they can. That's why they've been developing Google+, Google Mail, and all of the tools Google has gave to us. And while I'm talking about the tools of Google, I'm going to, well, let's talk about what I think was great, and it showed a great usage of innovation, creativity, and management. Dale inicio. No, dale otro. Ese. Ahorita te regresas. Okay, so Google Chrome. It started in 2008. It was released as a beta, and well, we all know the story. It's been 7 years. 7 years, and it is now the most popular web browser in the world. And it's quite of a funny story, and it's one I actually like a lot. Through management, they installed headquarters in India, okay, on the year 2004, okay, 4 years before Google Chrome. Then, these headquarters, they get involved with Google Chrome because some of the main researchers and some of the main coders involved in the Google Chrome project came from this headquarters. That's why it's an example of management. I don't know if you're getting it, but I'm trying to make you get it. Creativity, well, just because it was really creative to just decide to gather everything that Google has, put it into a browser, and will throw themselves at a market where it was already with Internet Explorer. At the time there was Mozilla, it was very popular. There was Opera, Safari, but they decided, yep, let's put Google into one single thing and share it. And innovation, there was actually some innovation in the whole project itself, but in the publicity, they did one publicity stunt that I really liked. It was 2008, the beta was about to be launched, and well, someone, how do I say, filtered it. It was in the, se filtró. ¿Quién dijo? Was leaked. So Google and the marketing department decided to use this as publicity. You know, in a way, they decided, well, it's already out there, so why not release it now? And they did it the same day. The same day it was leaked, it was released. And well, 2 years after that, it was available for every computer, every computing system. So I like Google Chrome a lot, and it is a great example of why Google is constantly innovating. So, you may recognize these two guys from the Internship movie, you know? Yeah, great movie, it's quite fun actually. They started the Bold Internship program in 2008. They were looking for the next big minds, for the next big creators, next big developers. And in the year 2013, they implemented the Google Science Fair project, where they registered any person interested in presenting their abilities in an online page, and well, they just let them go with it. They competed, and the winner got a job at Google. And their internship program is quite great, and if you're looking, and well, if you are a tech developer or something like that, you have to aim to Google. It's great. And well, as a business administrator, this is a great example. Their internships are a great example of how to deal with people, how to deal with your employees and future employees, since they practically treat them as if they are already in there, but they're just getting started, they don't know anything. But it's great. Now, let's wrap it up, okay? Since I think I just went over the time, you know, quite a lot, well, I'm just going to leave you with Google's motto, which I think is applicable to everything, and especially for me, that I'm going to be business consultant, is that the user goes first and the rest will come by itself later. Thank you very much, and if you have any questions, I will ask
That will
it
be
right
next
now.
time. Thank you so much.